What would it mean to be able to talk to angels? How would that change your life? Join us now on Angel Talk Tuesday as the psychic angel channelers Julie Geigel and Susan Schuler allow angels to speak directly through them, sharing messages from beyond. As you bathe in the vibrational frequency of the angels here, you will begin to open up to a stronger and clearer communication of your own. The purpose of this show is to help you awaken, expand, and remember the magnificent being that you are and the mission you came here to fulfill.
Welcome everyone. Our theme for the month is family, and today's topic is siblings gone wrong. This is Julie Geigel, international psychic medium, trance channeler for Archangel Metatron, an awakened healer. I offer psychic medium readings and spiritual counseling over the phone and in person in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And I also teach online spiritual classes. You can find me over at juliegeigel.com and on Facebook at Psychic Medium Julie. And tomorrow, or Thursday, I have a free meditation coming up. It is Chakra Balancing, it's called, and that's at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can register for that on my website. And I also have an exciting class coming up on the 17th, Journey to the Akashic Records. So I'm thrilled to be an OMTimes expert, and I offer classes through that beautiful OMTimes Institute. And you can sign up for those classes on my website. Okay, and I also wanted to invite you to join us for our Manifesting Mastermind number 7 that begins today. Very excited to start that. It's 28 days to abundance, and today's the last day to sign up for that. Again, all of the information for that is on my website, and it's a beautiful program to help you navigate the sometimes stormy seas of Mercury retrograde. And this month of August, wow, hang on, because it's going to be up and down, in and out, all around. The energy is very, very exciting. And I have a beautiful guest with me this morning. Our lovely Susan is in Canada. Susan Schuler is in Canada. Internet's a little bit sketchy, so I gave her the 2 weeks off. And we've got Raylene Sousa. She is a spiritual medium, and thrilled that she could join us this morning. Welcome, Raylene.
Thank you. Good morning, Julie, and good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. And Raylene, I'm just going to have you mute yourself, and we're going to move into the channeling, and then Raylene is going to help me with our discussion during our second segment. So we are taking live callers. If you have questions or would like to say hi or chat about our topic this morning, you can dial in at 1-202-570-7057. And Chris, we did have a question from one of our listeners, if they can listen by dialing into that number, or if that's only for questions. I think you can do both. So Chris, feel free to pop in and let me know. But yeah, that number is 1-202-570-7057. And you can listen or dial in and ask questions. We'll be doing free psychic readings with Raylene here in segment 3 and 4. So we're going to have Raylene hit that mute button, and I'm going to go ahead and move into our beautiful channeling today. Here we go. Welcome. I am Metatron. Thrilled and delighted, as always, to join you here this day. We have much to say, much to share on this topic of family, of siblings, of drama. So allow yourself to relax deeper into this beautiful energy, this beautiful sacred space, opening up to receive a beautiful healing this morning, a healing specifically for family relationships. And it is easy within your family unit to take advantage of each other, if you will. To be impulsive, selfish, focused only within your own desires. There is a new energy here on this planet, open to receive the attunement, the alignment, the ascension. As you experience this expansion of your soul, the drama within your life will begin to fade. The disconnection, the disharmony, the selfishness will dissolve and move out. And those you are to be aligned with, reunited with, and those you are to commune with will begin to gather in small units, in small pods. So do not be alarmed. All is in perfect and divine order. The ego is fading. Transforming. Your soul is awakening. Rejoice in finding your soul families. Rejoice in making new connections within your current families. Do not try to hang on to those who are no longer serving your higher purpose. The contracts within your family unit have now been completed. those of you that are working toward the healing of the planet are gathering together, and your energy needs to be focused within that plan. You do not have time for drama. You do not have time for unforgiveness. Again, all of these things are beginning to dissolve and transform. Harness the energy that is here, especially during this month of August. Feel the sadness and the grief that often occurs with change, but trust and know that there is so much more. There are deeper relationships, stronger connections, clearer expansions that are awaiting you. As you allow yourself to move forward and rise up. Do not be afraid. You are never alone. You have a plethora of angels constantly guiding and guarding every breath you take and every step you make. Allow this beautiful healing to sink deeply into every cell, every fiber of your being, transforming and awakening you now. We invite you to take a moment now and imagine your family of origin surrounding you in a beautiful circle. And imagine any drama or disharmony dissolving, evaporating, transforming. Imagine the attachments and the expectations leaving. And now allow each member of this family unit to return to zero, a blank slate, an empty space, and within the nothingness arises love, purpose, and peace. Those in this family unit that are meant to continue their connection will, and those who are not will step out. Honor this decision honor this destiny. I am Metatron, and I have spoken here today. This is Julie Geigel channeling Archangel Metatron. You can find me over at juliegeigel.com. Stay tuned for our...
The future of Internet radio is here. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Change and growth are part of natural life and also part of your spiritual life. Everyone needs support and guidance, especially during life passages. Upgrade yourself with the OMTimes Experts program. With OMTimes Experts, you have access to the best intuitive coaches, spiritual teachers, counselors, astrologists, and oracles. Our team was carefully selected so you can trust. Find out more at experts.omtimes.com.
Do you need help with relationships, romance, or career? I'm a triple-tested, accurate, and ethical psychic medium and spiritual counselor. Simply click on my Call Me Now button at juliegeigel.com.
Mediumship readings offer much closure and healing. This is Susan Schuler. Let me connect you to your loved ones on the other side. Schedule an appointment at mediumsusan.com.
And we are the Psychic Angel Channelers from Angel Talk Tuesday, hosted every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern on OMTimesRadio.com.
Hi, I'm Kelly Fox, host and astrologer of The Astrology Show. Each week, I'll give you access to the current transits, which are a valuable tool that provide astrological information to help unlock the potential each of us has. Understanding the stars can help steer us in the right direction to make better informed choices. So if you're wondering what's going to happen in your week ahead, be sure to tune in to The Astrology Show for guidance, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Well, I finally did it. I opened a 401k.
What? Why? Just wait for the inheritance. We've definitely got a rich uncle somewhere. We're one call away from the winner's circle at the Derby, dinners with multiple forks, a vacation home in the country, using summer as a verb.
You don't actually think that, do you?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Angel Talk Tuesday. This is Julie Geigel. And thank you so much, Raylene Sousa, for joining us here today. And Raylene, we'd love to hear a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for having me. I'm a spirit communicator. So I'm a spiritual medium and healer. I just enjoy spending time with people in session. I have a website, RayleneSousaMedium.com, if anyone would like to visit, where I offer in-person sessions in New Hampshire, in Maine, or Skype and phone sessions. I'm a mom of a beautiful son who's 23 and just transplant from Massachusetts to Maine. So thanks for having me. I also am a sister, so I really enjoyed your channeling.
And I come from a family of 6, so it's like,
do?
oh, yes, absolutely. So I know all about family drama, and certainly not exclusive to brothers and sisters.
Right.
So let's just take a moment. We do have a couple callers that we're going to take in just, we'll take one caller right now, and we'll discuss a little bit, and then we'll take another caller at the end here. And I do believe that we have Amanda from Wisconsin. Hello, Amanda. And do we have a caller? I know we also had Rita from Wisconsin. Chris, if we have a caller, go ahead and put them through, one of them. Okay, well, we are just going to move on. and we'll check back with our callers here. Okay, so Raylene's going to help us with the discussion. A lot of times when I'm channeling, I don't recall a lot of what was said, but once we start talking about it, it kind of starts to drift back in. It's a lot like when you're dreaming at night. When you wake up in the morning, if you don't move, you can remember a lot of what you dreamt, but as you get up and start moving about, you begin to forget. And by the end of the day, it's typically completely gone from your mind. But yeah, it's a lot like that with channeling, only kind of the opposite, where I have no recollection at the beginning, but then as we slowly talk about it, things start to come back. And Raylene, what was your favorite part of the messages that Metatron brought through?
Well, I actually enjoyed it all in the way it unfolded, but what came to my mind, which was conveyed, is how you return to zero as you ask that people release their family members. It sounded like from past misgivings or expectations, and bring it back to a blank slate so you could start fresh. Because I find that a lot of times family or close family members, whether immediate or not, they tend to have expectations or take things personally. And respecting others' differences is really important instead of assuming. So what I gathered from it is that how people are in our lifetime for the reason or the season or a lifetime, and whether biologically related or emotionally connected, that sometimes you just release people from the expectations of that relationship. You can enjoy it as it is, or if no longer serving the purpose it was intended to prior to our coming on our earth walk. That maybe sometimes it's just good to release them and move on and really put a lot of nourishment into the relationships that are intended for the now, in the present part of your life, your earth walk. That's what I took from it. I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, I love how you put that, because it really is interesting. And I know myself, you really hang on to relationships that have served their purpose. And when Metatron said the contracts with your, families of origin has now been completed, it was like, wow, wow. That's really that's an interesting concept that, it does get to a point where you can choose to continue to invest your energy in that relationship, or you can choose to disconnect, if you will. And it doesn't mean that there's been any big falling out between the two of you. It could simply be just a matter of losing touch with each other and maybe feeling guilty about not taking more effort to communicate or to stay connected with that person. But I think that, it was really beautiful, because I remember, he said, gather everybody together in a beautiful circle, and just this beautiful feeling of love. And for some reason, I want to cry right now. So absolutely, I've got things that are being released, and such a beautiful, perfect timing with our lunar eclipse yesterday, which was really all about releasing and, unforgiveness, letting things go.
And what I find, too, is that some people wonder how do I just let them go? I love them. And one of my friends and I were talking one day, and we talked about how it doesn't mean that you don't love someone. Sometimes she phrased it as to love detached. You still you carry that relationship for what it is, in a way that it doesn't cause you to be reactive. Then I think that's when you release the expectations and you don't take things personally and you respect the differences. Because if you find with families a lot of times, or when friends get so close, that they place assumptions on one another, that just because this is what you will do, and really the other person is on their respective life journey and may not be at that point or path of maybe enlightenment are being able to reciprocate. So you can love detached, but you don't have to take it personally that it bogs your spirit down or causes any negative impact. I would say maybe on your soul growth, you know.
Beautiful. That is so perfect. So perfect. All right. We've got just a few minutes left here. We're going to go ahead and take a caller. Hello. Are you on the line? All right. And as soon as you come into the line with us, just feel free to interrupt and say hello. But yeah, you know, it is such a beautiful thing. And I remember when I was little thinking, you know, I don't want to be one of those families where everybody grows up and moves away and never talks to each other. And, you know, I'm going to be, well, I'm 52, just turned 52. And wow, I am one of those families. Everybody grew up and moved away. And there's just a few of us, because like I said, I come from a family of 6 that still keep in touch, still keep in contact. So I think that's kind of what I was feeling, you know, just a minute ago when all of those emotions started to bubble up, is just some sadness. And I think, you know, it is a grieving process. And I know Metatron mentioned it's okay to be sad. It's okay to grieve. Because, you know, you grew up with these people and they were a very huge part of your life for a very long time. But it's okay that people grow up and go their own ways. It's okay that you don't stay connected. So it's not, you know, because you're blood that you have to be a part of each other's lives on a regular basis. And also there's, you know, the distance relationship where, you know, maybe you check in with each other on the holidays, and that's okay because, yeah, your energy really needs to be moved into this, we have a purpose right now. All right, Amanda, are you there?
I am here.
Welcome, welcome. So excited you could join us for the show today. How are you this morning?
Thank you. I'm actually pretty good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Did you have any comments on our channeling, or were you interested in a psychic or medium reading this morning?
I was interested in a reading.
Beautiful, beautiful. And did you have a question that we could help you with today?
I guess I'm kind of wondering about my path, really.
Your life purpose?
Yeah.
All right. And what exactly do you want to know about your life purpose?
Kind of just, here's the thing. I feel sort of like I'm trying to force things in a direction that they're quite possibly not supposed to go in. I don't know if I should just kind of follow my intuition and wait until things kind of just fall in front of me, or if I should actually try to take some direction.
That is an awesome question, Amanda. I love that. And I pulled a card for you from the Life Purpose deck, and the card that comes up is study. So right now is the time to do research, get involved in a workshop or a class, maybe go back to school, whatever involves study and kind of gleaning, getting more knowledge, because right now there's not enough clarity to move in a real specific or purposeful direction. So I'm just seeing that it's more of a time of exploration, of looking and experiencing different things that you might enjoy. And then through that intuition will begin to expand, and the inspiration for guided action will take place. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And Raylene, any thoughts or comments? I know we have about a minute left.
Yeah, I just feel as though, you said one key thing, should I follow my intuition? You know, your gut is where your soul really resides, with your intuition. So consider that like the GPS for your life path. So it's like if you picture yourself like flowing down a river and not against the current, how much easier things can be. And I think you can't really wait for something just to be set in front of your path. So study is great. You have to take action, because when you get that feeling, that's your soul nudging you in a direction. And you have to realize you can take a lot of different paths that are going to lead you and groom you for your soul growth along your journey. So don't be afraid to try something. I think with you, it's you just want to jump in either both feet and it's like a pass or fail. Don't look at it that way. Look at it as an experience, a part of your journey, what's going to bring you to your higher purpose, your higher calling. And if even, I just get the sense with you too that you may have this kind of interest in your intuitive abilities or your psychic. I feel and sense actually healing from you, like a healing component about you. So I don't know if you'd explore something possibly in the medical field, or maybe just simply take a Reiki class, become Reiki certified and explore that part for you, because Reiki 1 would be a gift to yourself. So, I just think it's just trusting yourself, because you have the tools. And I definitely agree with, expanding on your studies. But I think there's also other types of studies you could do along the way that would complement the traditional.
Beautiful.
Okay. So does that...
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us here this morning, Amanda. All right, everyone, it is time for a station break. And we will be back to continue our discussion, and we will continue taking questions, psychic and medium readings this morning. Thanks so much. Stay tuned.
The cutting edge of conscious radio, OMTimes Radio, IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Would you like to speak to an Archangel? Hi, I'm Julie Geigel, Trance Channel for Archangel Metatron. Book your session now and get the clarity and insight you need to make this your best year yet.
Past life readings promote understanding about current life situations. This is psychic medium Susan Schuler. Let me help you gain insight. Book an appointment today at mediumsusan.com.
And we are the Psychic Angel Channelers from Angel Talk Tuesday, hosted every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern on OMTimesRadio.com.
Aloha, my name is Jennifer O'Neill, and I'd like to invite you to come join me every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time for my show, Spirit Chat. Spirit Chat focuses on simplifying the process of using the spiritual tools and gifts you were born with in a way that fits into your everyday life. I also teach different techniques that will help you learn how to navigate the spirit realm and empower you on your own spiritual journey. So join me this Wednesday as I guide you through the spirit world.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
The rocket launched into the air.
And then crashed into the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. This is Julie Geigel with Raylene Sousa. She is filling in as a guest for Susan Schuler, who's having a beautiful, lovely time over in Canada. We're so jealous. Beautiful shout out to Susan. We love her. And she definitely needs some time away. So thrilled that she's taking some time for herself there. All right. Well, we're continuing our discussion. We are taking callers here at 1-202-570-7057. And we have Rita from Wisconsin. We'll go ahead and chat with Rita for just a couple minutes. And then Raylene's going to share some channeled messages she just received on our topic today of siblings gone wrong. And welcome, Rita.
Hi, Julie. Can you hear me?
Hey. How are you doing?
Oh, I really needed this program today. My husband has, there's 10 kids in his family.
Wow.
And we have experienced some major betrayals.
Ooh.
And I guess I needed to hear that maybe the contracts are done. I don't know how the family will ever find their way back to each other.
Right, right. Yeah, and as I look into this for you a little bit closer, Rita, I am seeing that the contract is done. And
Okay.
I mean, it's very clear. I'm clairaudient, and I'm hearing it's done. Move
It's done.
on. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry about trying to fix anything. I know we went through a tough issue when my mother-in-law passed. My husband and his one brother. It was pretty difficult, but it was very clear that their contract was over and it was all right to go their own ways. And so that, you know, in that one moment, it's a relief. And then in the other moment, there's another grief on top of a grief. And that happens so often, so often.
You know, I think, I think the hardest part to live with is the whys will never be answered.
The lies will never be answered. Is that what you said?
The
whys.
Why?
Yes.
Why did this happen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, there's Byron Katie is one of my favorite spiritual teachers, and you know, when we argue with the present moment, it's the definition of insanity. When we just accept it is what it is. Literally, it is what it is. And we've got this ego that's wanting to dissect everything and understand.
Yeah.
We don't need to. We don't need to. Yeah. And I just want to share with you before I turn it over to Raylene here. I pulled a card from the healing deck for you, Rita, and the card that comes up is blessings. So as you are all able to let go and disconnect and let those attachments dissolve and those expectations, you don't need to do anything more. Just, I love you, I bless you, I set you free. And I'm seeing many blessings come into your life as new relationships with other people begin to happen.
Oh, good.
Yes, because it opens up space. And that's what Metatron was talking about too. Don't continue to put your energy into this drama, into trying to make this work when the contract's over and it's time to let go and move on. Then there will be new people coming in that will serve a new purpose, a higher frequency in your life for you to move into the next phase of what you are to do.
Oh, that's so good to hear. My husband's pretty stubborn. I wish that he could hear this on a heart level, because he won't listen to me otherwise.
Absolutely, and you have a lot of power just with holding the space, being the lighthouse of love for that to happen. Raylene, I'm going to turn it over to you. Any thoughts on this issue?
Yes, good morning, Rita. How are you?
Good.
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. I think what's key here is that the whys will never really be answered this side of the veil, because it's all about perception. So it's how we shift our perception, because there are so many sides, and we know what's right or wrong. But people that do harm, sometimes they find justifications in it. So you never really quite understand it. What it brought to mind is a Chinese parable about a farmer. If you Google it, it's a long one to go into. But the thing is, things would happen in his lifetime, and he would respond with, is it good or is it bad? And it just is what it is. And so what it basically is like we shift our perception and we look at it, because sometimes there are unexpected gifts and change. And as you release the old ties and you release the expectations on these relationships, and as I said before, I can tell you're a nurturer, a fixer, and that's good. You have such beautiful qualities in your soul. And But, you have to know that you're really accountable just for your actions and how you respond. So just walk on a path of light and love. And just a lot of times in families, people assume, and you could have a conversation and you'll find, I don't know if you've experienced this, that you'll be talking and someone finishes your sentence. They're interjecting and assuming. So a lot of times when we look at these betrayals and we see them from maybe the viewpoint of another, even though it could be very blatantly wrong, and I feel as though something really did cause a divide and a wedge in your family. But you got to remember it's residual too, so there's generations here. So when we act, we need to, we can release our soul ties, but we just need to, I feel what I'm getting is to just continue to enlighten love to the souls and spirits, and let those beyond the veil help to orchestrate and manifest love, because they know what's going on. And what you can do too is whatever you learned from this, as you're growing and building new relationships, bring the lessons with you so you can apply them. You can apply them and for you, I really feel as though I'm talking more through you to your husband, because I actually feel like you'd do anything to bring it back together and have everybody come to like a family reunion. So yeah, I know, and it'd be wonderful. Your presence is just beautiful, even just speaking with you and listening to you. But, and your husband, he's on his own journey, his own path, and sometimes we wonder why people just don't get it. But experiences and different circumstances, but you know what? It may not be his time to get it, and that could be part of his contract too. That, his journey, he's got to learn, and it may be something that he agreed to come and learn, and who knows? It may just be next month he goes, you know what? I'm going to put that olive branch out, even though it may not be accepted. That's okay. I need to do what my soul calls me to do. So, I hope you understand that it might bring you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just think my husband and I we're so different that way, and you've helped me to understand that the way he sees things is okay, and the way I see things is okay, even though it's not the same.
And don't forget, he's also watching you. So those qualities that you have in seeing things your way, I know he adores about you. He may not understand that, okay, but he wouldn't want you to change. He wouldn't want you to change. So you keep shining your light and bring your loving energy to all, but, also honor your own spirit and just take a deep breath and know you can only do what you can do. That's what you're called to do with your soul contract, what you agreed to. So I leave you with blessings of spirit. You're a beautiful person.
Well, thank you so much. I really needed this today. I really needed to hear this.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Rita, for calling in. We appreciate your support this morning.
Thank you.
You bet.
Have a nice day.
Yes, and we are here this morning, ready and able to take your call at 1-202-570-7057. I'm here, Julie Geigel, with Raylene Sousa, who is filling in for the lovely Susan Schuler. And we are taking questions, any questions you have about family, about drama, about siblings, getting along with brothers and sisters, and we would love to help you. And again, that number is 1-202-570-7057. We're going to take a short commercial break. Please stay tuned.
Bringing a more conscious lifestyle to your world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Are you a light worker? Would you like to become a light worker? Hi, I'm Julie Geigel, and I've
partnered with my co-host from Angel Talk Tuesday, the gifted and talented Susan Schuler, to bring you an exciting new online event.
As former public school educators, Julie and I are now spiritual teachers. We've teamed up together to offer an exciting new mentorship program to help spiritual seekers align with their gifts to serve humanity.
This is an ongoing program that runs in 4-month segments. Go to juliegeigel.com to watch a sneak preview and learn more.
Looking for inspiration?
Want to be inspired?
Not sure where to go?
Find Mark and Kim every Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on Inspired Living.
Topics will elevate consciousness and range from metaphysics to the human and social experience and all things spiritual.
Welcome to an inspired community that offers support, encouragement, and new ways of thinking. You are the inspired and the inspiration.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. This is Julie Geigel with our lovely Raylene Sousa, and you are listening to Angel Talk Tuesday. All right, and we are taking callers, and we do have a caller. We are going to take her at the end of our discussion here, so hang in there. Michelle from Maryland, I believe it is. But our Raylene is going to share with us some channeled messages from the guides that she works with. So Raylene, go ahead and take it away.
Well, I do believe that a lot of what came through downloaded as I listened to you in Metatron was what I conveyed to our last caller, is that we need to truly listen and try to understand what another is trying to say. We need to release some of expectations. And because as we're doing that, as you mentioned, the clean slate, that I'm trying to find a way to put this through. I actually do feel like I just went right through with the other lady, is that the apologies and the responsibilities, and if we take things personally, it's just going to bog our soul down. And we start viewing it as we were wrong or we were faulted. And as part of a contract, as that comes through, we really weren't faulted or wrong. We were here to learn and evolve, and it's just part of our life experience on our journey so that we can be open to the possibilities of our own soul growth. The one thing I really do feel as though a lot of times people hear people talking and they just don't listen. And I think that is just key in all of it. And we view our side as being the right side, whereas if we could meet in the middle and join the path, and by just leading by example, that's always the feeling that I get. Because let me just say this. When I'm in spirit session, a lot of times, my sitter will receive an apology from a loved one in spirit, or possibly not a loved one in spirit, someone that caused them a lot of harm or angst this side of the veil. And when they receive that apology and they become emotional, they look at me and I say, spirit can't make us accept or do anything. It's got to resonate with our soul. But just when you have time, I'd like you to just sit with it and understand that you heard something with spirit communication, with an apology to help, and it's very healing sometimes to receive that apology that you never thought that you would receive. So I think it's just being open with ourselves and others and expressing how we feel, whether it's something that might make someone uncomfortable or not. Because I think the biggest regret I see on both sides of life are the things that were not said or expressed. So just in staying true to our soul journey and our message.
Absolutely, absolutely. I completely agree. And, you know, it's not to say that, you know, you get in a fight with one of your siblings or family member and, you know, you're done and, you know, you end that relationship and it's all over. That's not what the message here today is. The message is more about, you know, if you're struggling in relationships and you just feel like you're knocking your head against the wall, or you're feeling like someone's draining a lot of your energy in your family, and it's that's taking a toll on your health. So there's, you know, you need to stand in your power and live your integrity, and it's okay if it's time to walk away from that. You don't have to stay just because you're blood.
Yeah, well, even not blood, even in divorces, when you come together and you create a family, sometimes people stay far too long because of the expectations or assumptions they place on themselves or others, you know, because you grow up and you step away from your family. I actually moved away. I grew up, I was born and raised in a small, my small hometown. I was born in one of the last babies born in the hospital there. And what was very interesting to me was I moved away, and my move, it was such a positive, beautiful move for myself, but it was a real struggle for my family. It was like, it was something that I had done to them. You understand that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they love it. Yeah, but they took it personally, where really it was from my own soul growth, my own journey. And I know they came around to it, but it was just that expectation or thought that I would never leave, you know? And it wasn't that I can still drive back, but there's things like that we do that we don't realize, that even though people might lash out in different ways, the core of it could be that they just want to hold on tight to, too, you know?
Yes, exactly. And, you know, that's another issue in families is, you know, when you've got a parent or you've got a sibling that is hanging on to you and you're kind of their lifeline, and that relationship has become codependent. And it's time in this new earth energy, it cannot exist anymore. It will be so uncomfortable for you that you literally cannot continue the relationship as it is. There has to be a change because you're changing. You're evolving so rapidly and expanding on this beautiful, beautiful awakening path that it really is about this frequency that's coming through, and it's clearing major declutter. Wow, major. I just got a beautiful image. Let's go ahead and take our lovely Michelle from Maryland. Are you there, Michelle?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, Julie. How you doing?
Awesome. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Did you have a comment about our channeling, or did you have a question that we could help you with?
I guess I was wondering if you might get any kind of information from my sister that passed away. I have to say our family was very dysfunctional. My sister was considered like the black sheep. She didn't conform, and my one other sister just totally hated her, forbid her to come to her house and to have anything to do with her children. And my younger sister, just she passed away. She ended up getting cancer, and then my other sister that forbid her from being any part of her family, kind of, had a little bit of a awakening, like a rude awakening with my sister passing away, but she still never really folded and said it, really that she was sorry, like how bad she treated her or anything to me and to my brother and my mother. It just seems like she just, didn't really kind of, I don't know, just didn't maybe clear the air, and just, I still have a really hard time talking to her and understanding how she could be so mean to my sister. And here she goes to church and she's, Catholic and says, that we were born and raised Catholic, and I went to church every day and all that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I feel like I just kind of was wondering. I feel Karen around me, and I kind of was wondering if you had any kind of a feeling about her guiding us to somehow make amends or something like that, or anything.
Now,
like
Karen is the sister in spirit?
Yes.
Okay, and then what's the name of this, if I might ask, the sister,
Denise.
Who's Denise?
Yes.
Okay, what I'm seeing between the two of them is it was a past life issue. And so a lot of times those past life issues, it's about clearing out some karma. So, like, if in one lifetime you murdered somebody, in this lifetime you are murdered. So we all experience and are on the receiving and the giving end of everything, good and bad. Mm-hmm. So I'm just seeing that experience went beyond this time and space. And so I get a sense that Karen, the energy is cleared on Karen's end. And I get the sense that she's at peace and that there's none of this, there's no feeling, she's not holding or harboring any unforgiveness. When I look at her energy, her spirit, it's very pure and very open-hearted, completely forgiving and blessed, most definitely blessed. So it really isn't, again, I love Byron Katie. There's your business, my business, and God's business. When I'm in your business, I'm powerless. When I'm in my business, I'm powerful. So it's your relationship with Karen, your relationship with Denise that is where your power lies. When you worry about how Denise treated Karen or how Karen felt about Denise, then you become powerless because you're in their business and you're not privy to all that energy from that past life. Oh, so much I could say about this, Michelle. Thank you so much for your support today, and have a lovely week. And thank you, Raylene. Thank you so much for joining us here on Angel Talk Tuesday.
My pleasure.
Remember, archives are posted 24 hours after our live show airs on OMTimesRadio.com. Remember, you have a plethora of angels uplifting, inspiring, and enfolding you in God's love every day. See you next week, everybody. Have a great week.